Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good weekend. It's April 13th. It's Monday. We're going to review 0-day options on SPY and the small account challenge. Look at that end of day squeeze. I feel like it's been so long since we've had a real 10-minute move. And this is one. This is what I'm talking about. It's like I've forgotten that these even happen. This is why you always got to be vigilant until the bell. And if you can't, then take a break and return. So avoiding that midday at times and just coming back with focus and energy and stamina in case this ever sets up. It's worth it. The risk reward is out of control. If you fought all day and tried to make pennies and then this happens and could have turned that into many, many dollars. Anyways, let's get back to the beginning today. Mondays, oftentimes we get a pretty grindy liquidity build for the rest of the week. Here's Eric's chart. He's SPY day trading on YouTube. You can check him out. It's a 30-minute. This gold line here, this is 5-day, 220-day. So still way above this gap from the gap up. Hit the upper daily Bollinger on this day. And today was actually quite grindy, even though we did just kind of end up squeezing, which these days do sometimes do that. Nice little inverse head and shoulder here. Broke the green. Found resistance on the blue, which is a bearish control. And then just broke that in the last 30 minutes of the day, I guess. Yeah, just about. No, hour. Well, let's get into the trades. Monday, gotta be careful. IV was lower today, which is nice. And yeah, we definitely had that big gap below us, but you can't just be gunning for that. We actually gapped down a bunch over the weekend. Some bearish war news. Trading pretty low and rallied up into open and then just continued to rally. So started with this orange for the selling. Not super aggressive, but it looked bearish to me, that selling. It didn't look like bullish controlled. I did actually have this gray pretty early on for the bullish controlled selling though, right here. From this support, this resistance. I had it even before this happened, which was awesome to see it pop in there and then start to respect it. Always cool when that happens. And then purple here for the bearish controlled buying. I had that early on too, based on just here, right here. And then it respected it nicely right there, as you can see. So worked out nice. And then we had data at 10. Big green candle ripped us out of there. There wasn't really that great of a structure that I liked coming out. It was just very tight. We have a little head and a little shoulder grab, but this candle literally just went straight to like basically the high, which is that purple. So I wasn't really trying to be a part of this. I don't think I traded this one. No. Trying to just trade less and trade bigger. That's kind of my goal every day, and still every day I'm trading too much. So I kind of want it in my head, like if I'm not going to add a bunch of contracts to this, maybe I should just let this one go. Anyways, yeah, so rallied up. On the 30-minute, this looked like this was getting to resistance. And yeah, you can see this perfect little retrace to purple, and I consider getting calls here, but this was early. I wasn't too confident with the purple yet. I mean, it wicked through it. This was also on a wick, so I guess you could say on the bodies here, it retested it nicely. These trades are always difficult when it rips and you're just getting on a retest, because where does it retest? Like, you really have to trust that support. How far down does it retest? My first trade was a put at, okay, so yeah, I missed this bounce, and I had gray, and I trusted gray, and I assumed, or I thought potentially we'll build more liquidity before we break out of this gray, and this was a bit of a front run, which is not usually how I trade, and is unfortunate because I felt it right when I opened it. I'm like, this was predictive, which I'm never trying to really do predictive necessarily. I'm trying to kind of let it show confirmation and then do it with controlled risks and clear stops. I did have controlled risks and clear stops. It just getting in so hastily was not a good idea. Small range, small move. So I got a put here on this green candle with gray being my stop. Closed it out. Next candle. Pretty big green candles though, so not great. 81 cents to 70 cents there on the first one. Next trade was a call at 10:02. So broke out of gray, and I have purple here. Purple doesn't mean a whole lot at this point because that is a tapering bearish controlled buying. So I'm more looking for gray. I got a call right here for the retest of gray. Yeah, retest of gray, and next candle just plummeted through it and ended up wicking, but not before I was already out on this candle. Yeah, so first couple trades sucked, and I could tell just by this price action too, we were just wedging. But not to mean you can't, doesn't mean you can't make trades on it. It's just kind of annoying. Annoying, it didn't give structure and build liquidity and grab it and do all that fun stuff that we can identify so easily. And I even had the idea right here, it just wicked me out of it. So kind of unfortunate on that one. Let me chill on this jazz just a little bit. There we go. That was 10:02, 10:10. Okay, so 10:20 I canceled this one. Yeah, okay. So I didn't have this, let's see this one right here yet. I did have gray though. It came down, kind of broke through gray, so still potentially retesting gray for a move up. And I was looking at getting a call. Yeah, I was looking at getting a call here, and then it kind of kept coming down. And then once it hit here, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get a call and use purple for my stop, just like it did here. Retested it here. So in this sense, it's kind of retesting gray, kind of overshooting a little bit, but also retesting that purple. If you put gray down on there, yeah, look, that lined up perfectly. I didn't even move that down earlier, but regardless, we have purple there, and that's more the one I want to control with my stops because that is going in the right direction for calls. And then on this candle, I put my limit and went right past it. And I'm like, I don't want to chase it. So I didn't. And then on this candle, I just decided to cancel it. Cancel because it was too far up there, and I was like, well, that's fine. If it comes back down, I'll do another limit, potentially. So rallied up, found resistance on gray, which was to be expected. So that would have been potentially for the first profit taking. And we had this crazy candle right here, which is the main reason why I don't usually have stops, open orders for stops. I'll mainly have stops and mental stops, and I'll trigger them manually. This wouldn't have caught it though, because I would have waited just a moment, and it was pretty fast. Would have scared me, but it's pretty fast. Continue to build liquidity on gray, which is bullish, but it is of course wedging here. Anyways, I canceled that call. I just wanted to say that cancel because I did want it there, but I didn't take it. Canceled it. Next one I got into was at 10:29. Yeah, so on that one, which is fine. It broke the gray. I had green for my precision buying. I think I had at that point, yeah. Broke the gray. I bought one for $1.06, then one for $1.05 at 10:29, 10:30. Another one for $1.03 at 10:30. So I had three of these things actually, all by there, and yeah, I was fine with that. It was actually, I don't usually look at the size. I'm usually never looking at the dollar amount. I'm like, that's actually a pretty big position for this small of an account. It was like a third of my buying power. Not quite a third, but because these were pretty close to the money. There's 680 calls. I don't know. They're all about $100. So anyways, I knew more or less my profit targets. I was looking for high of day, top of purple. I thought this was a big enough drop for liquidity to be sufficient to rally up. But I had other ideas in mind and decided to build more and chop. And this goes on the 30-minute. We were just kind of in an area. There was no liquidity to grab on there. I think, yeah. I'm just waiting, which is fine. That's why you take profits. And I did. I took. So it's a tight move though. That's the thing. It's a very small range. Sold my first one at 32. So on this candle. Ooh, on this candle actually. I don't know if I got a great fill or not. Probably not. I think I was waiting for a little bit more of a full cup close. So $1.16 on that one. Sold the next one at 32 also for $1.17. Okay. Yeah, I kind of remember that now. Sold both on that candle. Kind of a nasty candle to be selling calls on. Unless you sell them up here. And then it breaks the green and I'm like, well, what should I do here? Because I think you could keep rallying. Could always come down and retest gray again. If I'm using purple for stops. I don't know if I had this one in here yet, but I maybe did. Like there's quite a ways down. So I just did I think I just did a break-even stop. Yep, so I stopped out of the next one on a break-even. So in hindsight, of course, I should have closed it, but actually it stopped me out on that candle. Yeah, that shows how crazy that candle was. So what I bought in right here was stopped out right there. So tight range. Yeah, I suppose I could, well, with only 3 though, I'm trying not to really have one for holding. So that one I maybe shouldn't have even done the break even. I should just closed out of it. It's just hard when it's such a tight range to just dump it all when, yeah. Next one, I canceled one at 10:59. Was this a good cancel? Potentially not. So, okay. Yeah, I was building up a lot of confidence. I don't know what happens, but when the IV gets low and the range gets tight and it's kind of ugly price action, if my charting's correct, my confidence starts to just get really ready for a move. So in this case, we lacked continuation to the upside. And we were clearly buying this purple, which is bearish. So I'm looking for a move down, a retracement, a Zami. And so that's why I kind of continued to chart these purple supports. Looking for a break of it and taking profits on the next one down, the next one down, this one all the way down here, potentially. So that leads me to this canceled put. Oh, that was the one. That's right. Okay, so it came up. Of course, you could take a break on gray right here. I'm not interested in that just because at this point it had been resisting purple right there for that bearish control. We are still in an uptrend, but the fact that it's tapering this bearish control, I'm kind of more interested in the downside, which I don't always play that way. I feel like I'm usually trading, like just trying to make sure I'm just with the trend. The problem is there's no retracements here and like structure. So I'm thinking I don't want to take this little move. And in hindsight, of course, it did come up to the higher purple, which then made me think, there we go, there's our head. Because this is a nice shoulder, and I've been waiting for a nice entry. So I put in an order right here for a put, and then I cancel it. I'm like, all right, I need to chill out. I don't need to be too aggressive. But I was very patiently waiting for that, because I didn't take the calls anywhere. And the next candle just flush. I'm like, oh, but it was fine. I was fine to wait for it to, well, I was gonna say break here, but then once it broke above that purple, then I was waiting for it to break that purple. But of course that one went all the way down to that gray. And so I didn't actually get into it until 11:01. So on this little retracement, this green candle, not super ideal because realistically gray would be my stop. I'm hoping, of course, it just continues to flush and definitely not sell in this gray, because that's, to me, that's bullish, but also that's just very mellow. I'm looking for more steep selling like this. But yeah, I got one at bought a put 679 or 79 cents at 11:01. Got a nice fill in there. It was a limit order. It kind of came down, which was good, grinded. I have another purple right here, so that's potential for my first take profit. And I took profit, I think. It bounced off of it and came down, and I got it like right here. Yeah, on that candle. After I saw this kind of, for one, bouncing on purple, but also potentially selling in gray, I took profit on that at 11:09, which was 86 cents. So a very small move, 79 cents to 86, but a move with confidence, with pretty clear structure, defined risk. So that's why I was decisive on profits right there too. Next trade was canceled. Oh, 1109. Did I try and get back in maybe on the retest there? I don't know. I think I cancel because I'm like, that's too aggressive. 1117. I'm getting puts. Comes up, retest gray. Comes down. Breaks purple. Nice little head and shoulder here now. Still hasn't completed any, like, more of the major inverse cups like this one. Definitely not low of day, so you have to keep that in mind, and that's kind of in my head a little bit too. To where these are just wedge trades still until we actually start completing inverse cups, which I think we are because our buying's only been in purple. Of course, that can always change, but yeah. So I'm thinking this is it. Got a nice shoulder here, a little retest there, little head and shoulder. So 1117. I bought 1, 2, 1118. I bought 1, 88, 86, and 87 cents. So all through here, and then we have this big green candle, which I despised, but I held on because I'm thinking gray. I got to hold for gray. Starts to grind down further. I'm like, man, this selling sucks. And so let's see, right here I got out of 1 for a profit, 94 cents, very small. Here I got out of another one, thankfully, for 88 cents, and then I had a stop. No, market to close. Okay, so that one that one I just held. I closed that last one on this candle. I moved my stop down to this purple, so it broke this purple nicely. No reason for me to take profit there, I guess. I'm waiting for the bigger move. So once it broke back up into the purple, I closed it. I think, yeah, on that 1133. That one's for 87 cents, about the same price. So all in all, that was actually a green trade. Just very tight structure. Which I'm fine with as long as I can stay green on it. Ideally, it's, you know, big clean moves where it's not like that. But the problem is with the small account, I kill my buying power. It's better now that Ivy's lower, but at the same time, I'm trying to scale up and get my trades kind of out of the way in the morning. But we just kind of, I don't know. It seems like we just haven't had very good moves in the morning lately. At least moves that I've been seeing or comfortable taking with more size. There's been a couple moves in the first like 10, 15 minutes. Those ones I'm usually reserved for just one contract though, and trying to be careful, and I usually don't take them. Sometimes I will. This morning was too quick, too small of a range. But yeah, lately it's just seemed like, I guess because volatile's been higher, it's just been a lot of gaps, which usually ends up being liquidity build in the morning. And so I've been just burning my buying power on this kind of morning liquidity build. Today it wasn't a gap though, necessarily. I mean, it was, but it was small. This was the gap fill right here. So yeah, anyways, it's just not been too favorable. But no, I'm grateful that this worked out as far as being green on them. Let's get to the next one. Where are we at? 1135. Did all those little green trade. Next one was at 1232. I bought call, bought another one at 1232. Okay, so I didn't have this orange. Let's see. So I stepped away after all that. I'm like, this is crazy grindy. I was barely green at that point. I'm like, I should stop for now. Just save buying power. Went Nate and they started doing this. When I got back, let's see, there was this crazy candle. Yeah, I came back because I saw that this cup had closed. I'm like, is this? I figured this was on the 30-minute. This was just retesting the top of that blue right here. But that was actually right here. So it actually broke out of it, which is not ideal. I don't prefer the chase trades, but regardless, it broke out of it. I think, yeah, somewhere in here. And I had just sat down more or less. And let's see. Yeah, like right here, somewhere right here, I sat down. I saw it be broken out of the blue. And oftentimes those moves where it's like basically bears controlling the buying and then it breaks out to the upside without like a, you know, without bulls controlling the buying. Sometimes those are just more violent, like it's more squeezy because it's not, it's like it's unprepared. It's more like stops being triggered or something. And that's kind of what we saw today and end of day, I think. Is it just like it's just like choke holding the bears. It just kind of keeps grinding up and then rips, and then kind of keeps grinding up and then rips. Doesn't give any big significant pullback for them to take any profit on their or cut loss on their shorts. So same with the downside. Like if it just kind of grinds down and then dumps and then grinds down and dumps, it's yeah, it's like kind of one of those days where you don't have significant pullbacks at all. Just kind of grinding up and then ripping, melting faces. Yeah, anyway, so I came back and I had purple, of course. So I hadn't quite hit the top of purple, which I thought that could be a target. And I had something else in here. I think I deleted that. I think I quickly charted this gray because that's all I had at that point. I'm trying to think what made me. Oh, maybe purple. What did I have here? Yeah, I guess purple. These weren't here. These are all from later in the day, so that would clean it up a little bit. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I guess this was probably not a good trade actually. It wasn't on a break. I mean, on the 30-minute it had broken, but this wasn't retesting the 30-minute at all. It was much higher. So yeah, this wasn't. Maybe because I saw it retesting the purple. That purple's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's not like it's retesting this one. Unless I had something else charted there. I don't think this was a great entry actually. It worked, but I don't think it was a great entry. Bought it. Yeah, I bought 64 cents and then 56 cents. So I had some confidence in it. This is actually, P&L wise, this is a good trade. I think I had something else drawn there that gave me more confidence. Yeah, because this had just broken out and this was retesting something I had drawn. Maybe it was this purple. Oh, wait, hold on. Did I draw this at that point? Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, I thought there was something. I'm like, this is weird. Okay, so I drew this pretty quickly when I arrived back. Which I don't know if this ended up being anything of significance. I might have just gotten lucky on this one. Yeah, with these supports, I was like, maybe this is a tapering. I thought I had some confirmation of it. Yeah, right through here. Yep, it broke, retested. That was later actually, but maybe I think this was something. It just didn't show up again later. I forgot about this. Yeah. Yeah, you kind of see it showing up in here. This angle might be a little bit off also. Didn't really show up later. But yeah, that's where my thinking was. So I charted that, saw it break, and this was for the retest, and I was just going to use this for my to manage my position. This line right here. So upside for me, I mean, I don't know. When it's kind of a chase scalp like that, I'm not going to be too greedy on it. A couple big volatile candles and I can just take my profit. Of course, this purple right here would be nice. On the daily, we could even hit the top of the daily Bollinger. We also had, I guess that was already there. So yeah, we were already breaking out. So I thought we could have pretty big upside here because that was the last man standing in the way. Because we broke the green, but then this blue was bearish. So once that broke, it was like, well, we could just squeeze. Very, very squeezy type price action without much retracement. So anyways, let's see, 1232. Yeah, I got one. I was at 682 call, got it for 57 cents, and then got another one for 64 cents. Both of them I got at 1232. Okay. Yeah, both of them I got on this candle. And then this next candle was insane. It's funny to see it now. It's just static, but this thing just had tons of volume. It just went woof, like crazy, ripped up. I thought very close to a profit target of mine. What was that line? I don't know. Oh, purple. Yeah, it perfectly hit up at purple. So I sold. I think I sold one right there. Let me see. Yep, 1233. Sold one for 90 cents. That was sick. Like, all right, that's all I needed. Held it. It just wicked. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. It's definitely some new stuff going on, which I don't necessarily like. Held through this one, and then another crazy candle. I'm like, oh wow, we might be about to go crazy, but we didn't. And I actually closed that one on this red candle. Unfortunately, didn't quite catch that. It's good thing I closed it though. I mean, this would have been a nasty drawdown, and I would have probably stopped out right here. So closed them both right there, which is good. I'm happy. Little retest, scalp to the upside. Especially if this is illegitimate, this blue line there. I don't know. Yeah, those were pretty nice though. That was like, let's see, that was like 80%. What is that? Yeah, it was like 80, 70, 80%. Sold it for 90 cents and then 99 cents on that 1236. So that one I probably sold like here actually. Probably got a pretty good exit on it. Then it made that nice little inverse head and shoulder, which I did see, but it was just so or like not choppy, but just volatile and sketchy. And I don't think I messed with this right here. Next one was at, where's that at? Next one was at 203. Yeah, so I sat out for all this. I was at pretty much, I was at like 80 something bucks on the P&L for the day, so I was very content with that. I think, yeah. So I kind of just hung out. I figured it'd be a bit grindy, and yeah. But this is where you gotta stay vigilant and let the market do what it's gonna do. Don't pay attention to it. Set alerts, as Eric says, and alerts definitely help. That's why I'm always setting alerts. And be fine to miss the move, and then you can come back focused and see if there's something later. Because we had broken out of that blue at that point, so it's possible we continue. And oh boy, did we ever. 203, I got a call. So my buying power is getting pretty low now at this point. 203, where's that? It's 14, yeah. Yeah, 203. Okay, yeah. So I had gold. Charted gold from back here. And it broke it right here. And a little retest. Little inverse head and shoulder up here. And I know this time of day is not... Well, let's see, that's 203. Sometimes this is late enough in the day where we start to get volume. It's not nasty price action. Yeah, let's see. Okay, got it right here. Problem is, there's all these wicks up here, and I'm like, where exactly do I draw this thing at? That was kind of the issue too. I had a wick here, wick here, wick here. Some bodies here. So anyways, got it here at 203, but you can see I'm just kind of setting myself up for failure without clear stops. I went to get another one at 204, but I canceled it. I was on this one. I was like, yeah, I'll just keep the size smaller. This one I stopped out of 205. So yeah, on that candle, breaking back into that gold. Again, I was a little like, not too sure where we were at that point. I definitely didn't have this white drawn yet, which would have helped me a lot. Which I think was actually what was controlling the selling. 205 I stopped out, is that right? Yeah, 205 stopped out and bought back into a call at 210. Yeah, I wish I had that white. So right here, so breaking that gold again on the last wick, I'm like, all right, this is the final one. Bought back in here, it starts to grind above the gold. I'm like, oh gosh. So sometimes it does that. It'll sit there and flip into support for a bit before it rallies. I feel like more often though, it's probably something that it's building on, and I just haven't charted it. So I need to kind of be more alert on that. Sometimes if it starts to chop around after I'm in, I'll just start charting to see what's going on. I don't think I did in this case. I kind of just sat on it for a while and was looking for another entry, thinking it was just, for whatever reason, giving me tons of time to enter, which it hardly ever does that. Usually the moves are, you're entering, you're chasing, and that's it. Sometimes a retest, but it hardly ever does this nicely. Sometimes. Yeah, never say never. So 210, 219, I was buying both those times. 219 was right here. I was on the retest of gold. I think at that point I threw purple in. I'm like, I need something else to manage my risk. So I put purple in here. Like, if it hits down here, I'll get another one. If it breaks, it'll stop it. So got one more here, stuck to that, and then crazy candle down here, and I closed out. So another stop out on that trade, unfortunately. It wasn't too bad. Those 39 cents, 36 cents, and I closed out 34 right here. And then it wicked up. I'm like, oh my gosh, no way. It just did that. Did this, and then thankfully kept coming down. I'm like, okay, phew. But it's still, the move was still right. I just had it drawn a little improperly. Perfect little inverse head and shoulder there. Came up. Grabbed liquidity right here, broke the gray. I don't know if I was anywhere around for that. Let's see, 220. No. Nope. Rallied up. I wasn't really paying attention. I was doing other stuff at that point. Kind of not expecting, I guess, much more of a move for some reason. I don't know. I just wasn't vigilant for end of day, which I should have been, because if I'd done a little charting, I could have easily set alerts for here, and I don't think I had at that point. Maybe I did. Yeah, I maybe did, and this just went so fast I couldn't jump in. Can't really remember exactly. But my next entry was at 254, so it did that move, ripped up. I still have a potential. I'm like, potentially could still at the top of this purple. Top of the daily Bollinger, which is 688, I think. So I'm checking it here, and oh, it broke this green, whatever this one is, this aqua teal. Broke it right here, similar to how I broke it back here, and I got that on the retest right there. Broke it there, and I'm in a call right here using teal for my stop. And this trade was annoying. This was greedy on my part. I'd seen this, which I'd missed, and there's a kind of an annoying day. Even though there's like nice structure, it's kind of, I don't know. It was just, this one was probably actually the cleanest. I shouldn't have it charted right. But just when it's buying up and then buying up even more aggressive, it's just hard for me to trade that. It's kind of exhausting. Yeah, messes with my nerves a little bit more than other structure. So 254, I got a call. I was gonna get another one at 3. Is this right? Yeah, 254. So on the retest there, it does this. I almost got another call there, never filled. Rallied up, a couple nice candles. It wasn't up a whole lot. It was only up a few pennies, honestly, like 3-4 pennies. So I didn't miss out a whole lot. It came down, I'm like, oh, I should have just taken some profit. But when I looked back on it, it actually was fine. But I ended up stopping here just for a small loss. So a little greedy on it. 30, let's see, 27 cents down to 21 cents. So could have been green. It was a little red trade. NBD. Looked grindy up here to me. I did have white then. I quick put white and orange up there just in case. Continue doing other stuff. And then, yeah, I was pretty much out of buying power. Today, end of day today was extremely difficult to deal with emotionally. I think FOMO is like, I don't usually think I get FOMO, because I don't think I usually do. Maybe I am all the time, I don't know, but today I definitely recognize that I for sure had it, and I certainly had it, and it made me want to destroy things. Oh, 6. Let's see, I sold that at 306, stopped out, had a limit to buy a call at 322. Right here. Well, that's when I canceled it. So I put a limit order right here on this candle. It rallied up and it never filled, and then it kept ripping, and I was like, okay, and I canceled it, thinking I don't want to just get on. Yeah, it's gone. So missed that entry there. It was fine. Oh, it looks like I did jump in. Oh, I just was chasing a bit. Okay, I'm sorry. Missed it, and then finally was able to get into on this candle at some point. Let's see, 322.41. So not super favorable of an entry. Got in at 28 cents. Oh, I had to cancel. I canceled another one. Yeah, I was trying to get into it because I thought this end of day we could be squeezing, just based on where we were on the 30-minute. And the news. I mean, there was a catalyst too. I think probably the straight was. I don't know what the catalyst was, but I'm sure it was something like that. And wow, yeah, I was in this one. I got this thing for 28 cents. This is just not a nice entry. 28 cents right here. Sorry, right here. Didn't get the other two I tried to get. It came up and just started grinding. And this was a 684, so it really wasn't gaining in value. It was like 30 cents, 34 cents maybe. Actually, I'm gonna pull up the option because it just wasn't moving. We really need a squeeze here. Is that 684? I don't even have that one up anymore. That's hilarious. Okay, here's the 684 chart. It's not, doesn't help to look back at what you missed, but just for documentation purposes, I've already looked at it and made my peace. Yeah, let's see, 26. We're way back here, so it wasn't hardly moving, right? It was just kind of grinding from where I got it. Got it for 28 cents, and it's like 30, and just kind of chopping around right here. And I was like, at this point, like, I'm just gonna hold this thing like maybe till 4, because you know we keep kind of just grinding up and then ripping. So I held. I canceled my orders from my other ones. If it came back down and retested, potentially I would have done it, but I was like, I'll just leave it. I think I was pretty much out of buying power. Yeah, that's what it was. I tried to get more, but I was out of buying power. Wait, that's weird because I canceled those other ones. Where did that buying power go? Oh, I guess I did have. No, I'm not sure. Anyways, so I held for this big candle. I'm like, oh, sick. That was right here, I think. Yeah. Yeah, 31. So right here, big candle. Finally, a little profit on that thing, and then another one kind of keeps rallying. And I think I charted green, maybe. Anyways, I'm like, I want to hold all the way to this, of course. And that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm just gonna hold this thing. It's just always so difficult when it comes to it, like to actually hold on profits. And this late in the day, when it's only one contract, like I give myself a break. If it's probably not good risk management or good trading behavior to just. I mean, it's a lotto. I guess if you know it's a lotto and you're treating it that way, that's fine. But it was just hard to see because I kept trying to buy more, and it just. Yeah. Anyways, I closed it right here. So that was at 34. So right there. So even that to that actually was significant as far as the price of it, because the spikes, I mean, that thing went up to, let's see right here, I think it went up to like 55, 56 cents. Or wait, no, what is that at? Yeah, 34. Oh, okay, right here. Yeah, it went up to like 55 cents. I closed it for 42. So even just that move, like on the small account, was significant. So happy though that one brought me back up to kind of where I was after, probably close to my high of day, equity wise, P&L wise, just about. So spun my wheels a bit for the rest of the day, and then made it back a bit here and ran a buying power, and then it did this. I had enough. I actually had enough. The strikes, it was either a 5-cent contract or like a 35-cent contract. And at that point, I only had 20 cents to spend. So I was like, I'm not going to get the 5-cent. And I looked at it here, and I was like, 10-minute move. It's coming down. It's kind of retesting. The structure here is not great, though. But you never know in the 10 minutes. It's not like nice looking inverse head and shoulder by any means. And when I looked at the contracts, otherwise I would have definitely got one. If there was like a better strike, because you see it's kind of in the middle. The 685 was like 5 cents. I'm like, I'm not gonna get that. That's gonna be worthless. And then the other one was too expensive. I couldn't afford it. So I didn't get anything here. Otherwise I totally would have. And it's because it's been so long, I feel like, since we've had a real 10-minute move. Anyways, this thing went insane on the 10-minute candle, right up to my resistance, where I probably have just taken profits right there, realistically, which would have been sick. That was like 80% or something. And then of course continued to rally. And once it came up here and I saw, I'm like, I thought about entering there, but I'm like, this is literally right at where I'm taking profits. So I left it alone. It's too risky that late in the day. But it was retesting that purple perfectly before it kept going. And the contract pricing, again, just, it wasn't favorable. I would have gotten something too far out of the money. Probably 687, and then it probably would have just done. I don't know. Actually, I take that back. I watched that other contract, and it would have also been profitable, even if I jumped in here, even though it was out of the money. It might have been 686. But at that point, it's such a chase, and this 10-minute candle literally went right to my profit, take profit. What a sick move, though, end of day. I miss those so much. Tough. This is why you see me doing all those weird trades end of day, like where it doesn't go anywhere. You're wondering why I'm doing that. It doesn't make any sense. This actually happens pretty often, but I feel like it's when it's less volatile, or maybe when we're in more of a bullish market. I'm not sure, but I feel like almost half the time we'd get a 10-minute move, somewhat like this. Not maybe to this extent. This is like 3 points almost. Yeah, it's like 2.5 points. But oftentimes we'll get at least half a point, or even a point. And if you get that in the 10 minutes, it's just such good returns. So, yeah. Anyways, hopefully it doesn't condition me poorly for tomorrow, and I'm gambling a bunch at the end of the day. And this FOMO, I can just let it rest and go to bed tonight and stay sleeping through tomorrow's trading day. So you can see, grind up. I mean, there was options. There was opportunities here. Breaking gold, for sure. Just gotta be patient for it. Breaking white then here. Breaking gold. Retesting white for that 10-minute was definitely a glorious one. Back here, I mean, I'm happy I was actually able to get green through this mess. Sub up, like up, comment down, at my 6 round. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.